Hello, everybody. Welcome to my weird, wonderful world. And a couple of weeks ago, I had made a video where I showed all the albums that I owned that came from the year 1971, the year I was born. And I was thinking just recently about, me being 54 years old and where music had gone in the last 50 years. I've been thinking about 50th anniversaries. What is turning 50? That's half a century. I'm over a half a century old. I'll be 55 in January. And I've been thinking about, the music. First of all, what kind of occurred to me while I was doing this thing here was that when I was 4 years old, which was 50 years ago, was I listening to anything or aware of anything from the year 1925, which would have been 50 years prior? Again, the technology that was out at the time to be able to find that kind of music from the mid roaring 20s of 1925. No, I was not exposed to any music from 1925, you know. I mean, 50 years before, I was only 4 years old. So now I think of today, for a 4-year-old person today, they have so much more access to so much more music than my generation growing up had ever did. I was thinking to myself, would kids nowadays, 4 year olds, with the 10 albums, and I only have 10, I only found 10 from 1975 from all my collection, and I kind of looked at everything just to double check. I mean, I checked, but like a half a dozen lists online to make sure I was finding everything I could for the year 1975. Now, there are a couple of albums that I do wish I had, and I will be getting whenever I have the opportunity to. That would be like Sparks, Indiscreet. I want that definitely. I want um, Aerosmith, Toys in the Attic. I would love to get that. And Physical Graffiti from Led Zeppelin. I want that. That's all 1975. That was again 50 years ago. 50 years ago. So we're celebrating, being around for 50 years, celebrating my love for music. Of course, my love for music started way before that, like pretty much again from birth. From birth, the first time I heard the debut album of Kiss, and so on. Yeah, music was always in my lifeblood. From the old cassette tapes my dad would tape from the radio of old 50s and 60s rock and roll. So I was very influenced by that. All right. Okay, I talked enough. Let's get into it. And I am going in chronological order of the dates they were released in 1975. So the first one here I'm going to show you is from January 20th. January 20th. And so this is this is just a little over 50 years old now. 50 years and a few months. Well, yeah, about about 6 months. So 50 years and 6 months old. Blood on the Tracks. That is this was a gift from Larry Graves. So I wouldn't have this if it wasn't for Larry Graves. So at least this is 50 years old. They celebrated its 50th anniversary just 6 months ago. Also a few months ago, and this would have been February 15th. Fly by Night. Fly by Night. That was it hit its 50th anniversary about 5 months ago. And so yeah, I love it. Great stuff on there. And this is a great album. An album I do need to listen to more. I like everything off of it, but I do need to listen to that more. I only listened to it maybe twice, This I've listened to many times. It's good. It's really good. I particularly love By Tor and the Snow Dog. Fly by Night, of course. Best I Can is always a good one that I really like. Beneath, Between, and Behind. In the End. The 2 week ones for me would be oh no, Anthem is awesome, of course, but the week ones for me would be Making Memories and Rivendell. Those would be my two weakest songs from that. My favorite probably is By Torn and the Snow Dog. Yeah, definitely. And then later, just a few days later, well, actually, 2 days later, on the February 17th, and I'm not talking about this version. This is 76. Okay, no. But it is when I am talking about High Voltage, right? And technically, this should not count, okay? I'm talking about the one that had this cover here, High Voltage. It was February 17th of 1975. But since I have AC/DC High Voltage, okay, I have this one. I'm going to include it. But technically, yeah, High Voltage was in 1975. That's when it first was released, so I have it, so it does count. I'm considering it the count, even though it probably shouldn't. Um, this one here, February, again, a few more days, February 27th, is Welcome to My Nightmare. Yeah, but that came out, that's 50 years old. Just no, again, a couple of months ago, honoring its 50th anniversary. So, yeah, that's cool. That's cool. And then March 19th, I want to say. Yeah, March 19th, Rest to Kill. Again, I was already a big Kiss fan by the time this came out, but it's not this, it's the next album that came out that was really like big time, because I there were certain gaps in my recollection. There was always the debut album, but then we sort of skipped over Hotter Than Hell and Dressed to Kill at the time. I only come to know about them just a little bit later when I got older. It was the next album that really kind of put them back on my radar and made me want to get the on vinyl. I'm sure they were. I must have had them on vinyl, or somebody had them on vinyl, because we did get them on vinyl eventually. But yeah, that's a good one. Uh, Another gift. This is another gift from Larry Graves. This is Paul McCartney's Venus and Mars, and that would be May 27th, 1975, 50 years ago. So this is going on 50 years, half half a century. That's a long time. It's a long time. Um, this one is about to is it? No, this one had its anniversary last month. It was when was June 25th? Yeah, I would say June 25th, and that would be Frank Zappa's Mother and the Mother of Inventions, One Size Fits All. So this is just, I need to listen to this very soon. Very, very, very soon. I want to re-listen to this again. That was the last one I had bought of Frank Zappa, and the one I played the least so far. So I need to play this again. I think I only played it once. Loved it though. So I need to play this again. So yeah, that was in June 25th of 1975. So so the next one I'm about to show is about to in 2 more days. We are the 26th today of the 26th of July today. So in 2 more days, this album will be celebrating its 50th anniversary, and in 2 days, and also because of the singer, just recently passing away. it, yeah, it's going to be a double celebration, one that's honoring the legend of Ozzy Osbourne. I am talking about Black Sabbath Sabotage. Yes, this is 2 more days. 2 days from now, this will be exactly 50 years old. 50 years old. Yeah, so I will be honoring it by playing it for sure, 2 days from now. But then we get to September. In September 10th, this was the album of Kiss that really put them back on the map in a big way. Where basically this opened up my world to Kiss more so than, because before this, I'm pretty sure, if my memory serves me well, that it was only the debut album that I had known about. I don't think I really known about anything else from Kiss until a little bit later on, just after this. Once this broke, yeah, September 10th, 1975, and this was monumental, a powerhouse of a live album. For the longest time, this was my favorite live album. Even Kiss Alive 2 just didn't touch this for a while. You know, this was awesome. And what would people who say maybe is their, I don't think so. I can't really say for sure which one is their worst albums, but this is not their worst album. Definitely not. But some people would maybe think, well, especially when this first came out, and September 24th, September 24th of 1975. Progressive Steel didn't make the splash the guys in the record company thought it was going to. They loved it in the studio. They thought it was awesome, but it didn't make any traction. Not until their next album of 2112, where they redeemed themselves and broke out of their slump. Where this was what they were calling the Down the Tubes tour. But that is it. That's all what I own of albums from 1975 that has just recently turned 50 or about to turn 50. Like the last two, the last three. 2 more days, Sabotage, and then in September, Rush, Progressive Steel, and Alive, they're turning 50. So I you celebrate all of these in your own way, because as long as it's still within the year, it's all good. You can celebrate them anytime. So that is my list. That's what I wanted to do for today, and hope you enjoyed that and I entertained you. If you are entertained by my content, check out some other videos first, to make sure I'm a good fit for you. But I would greatly appreciate it and love you forever if you consider subscribing to my channel. And do not be afraid to hit the like button. Please hit the like button. Also, please leave me comments. Tell me anything you want to tell me. Ask me questions. Give me some suggestions if you want. I can't promise that I'm gonna take your suggestions, but I like to hear from you, because if you give me a good enough suggestion, I'll think, oh, that's a good idea that I can do. I'll do that. So I'm always looking for new ideas. I still have quite a few other good ideas to come, but yeah, I'm always looking for new ideas. All right, I'm gonna let you go now. Finally. So everybody, please be safe. Take care. I will see you on the flip side. And please, everybody, just have a great day, evening, morning, night, afternoon, wherever you may be. Peace, everybody.